G'day, welcome back to the channel, Larrikin Japan. Today I thought I'd have a bit of a talk. With the holiday season coming up, probably a lot of people will be coming to Japan, and just don't leave your manners at home when you come, bring your manners with you. Now, a lot of people are gonna eat out when they come, so you eat at different places. Now, a lot of places aren't gonna have English menus. They're not going to speak Japanese, so you have to be a bit sensible about how you do it. Like if you go into a place and just start ranting on in English, it's not going to go well. Everyone be sort of a bit uncomfortable, they're not real sure. Now, a lot of places, they're really cheap. Now, you have a look here. This is a gyudon place, which is sort of like, like pork all cooked up and on top of rice and that sort of thing. Now here, this set here is 550 yen. So that's $5.50 Australian. The one below it is $6.50 Australian, This one here, you got a chicken curry hot pot combo meal for, $9 Australian. So this stuff is really cheap. Now, these places, they work on turnover. So, like $5.50, how much do you reckon they're making on a meal? They're probably only making $1 on a meal. So, they need people, they need the turnover. So if you come to these places, you don't just sit there for hours just having your meal. You sort of get in and eat your dinner and then move on, let other people come in. Now here we've got an udon restaurant across the road here. We'll just have a bit of a look here. It's the same, it's very cheap. But if you can't read the menu, just use Google Translator. You put up the photos and it will sort of translate the menu for you. See here, you can get like a takeaway. There's all the menu there. So there's your menu there. But if you want, if you know what you want, a lot of these places have pictures. Just point to the picture and hold up how many fingers you want. So you can work like that, and you get away. But the main thing is just don't expect everyone's going to speak English, because they're not. Very few people in these places, in these little restaurants, are going to speak English. It's full on Japanese. Hey, we've got a sushi place across the road. It's the same, Sushi's a little bit different. You can sort of stay in there as long as you want, sort of thing, like as long as you just keep picking up sushi, you're right. But these sort of places like these gyudon and these little restaurants, udon and things like that, things where they're not making a lot of money on a dish, yeah, they want turnover. So, like just have a little bit of common sense and order your meal and get in and get out. Like, I'll give you an example. I had a couple of mates come over from Australia at the end of November, beginning of December, and I took them to a chain restaurant, what do you call, tonkatsu sort of restaurant. There's plenty of them in Nagoya, Yabaton, and when we got to the restaurant, there was a bit of a line outside, so we just sort of waited in the line. A guy come up and give us some menus. We had a look at the menus, decide what we want. He came back a little bit later and took our orders and give us a number. And they were surprised. But then it's to speed up. So when you go into the restaurant, you're not waiting that long until you get your meal. So we went in the restaurant, we ordered some beers, we had a round of beers. Our meal come, we had our meal, and then we left. We weren't sitting around there for an hour just talking and that, because there's a line, there's people waiting, so they want turnover. So you just have a little bit of common sense. Now, we got that. There was 5 of us. We had a meal. It was a good meal. You get rice and salad and your meat and everything. And for 5 of us, it come to about 12,000 yen, about 120 Australian. They were surprised. They said in Australia they'd cost, $250, $300 for that meal. So, things are cheaper here. So you know, they don't make a lot of money on a meal. So just have a bit of common sense when you don't just sit there just fooling around doing nothing, you know, just wasting time, you know. Have your meal and leave and let someone else take your spot. Anyway, we'll have a look at some other places. Now in shopping centres you have like these food courts. This is just a little one, this is just a little shopping centre, but they have restaurants in here. But see, nothing's in English, it's all in Japanese. So you're not going to get English menus in these places, but you can just use your phone, hit up Google Translator and put it on photo and you will be able to get a thing. Let's have a bit of a look. We'll have a try here. So if we get our phone, go to Google Translator, hit him on photo. Let's get a little bit closer here so we can see. And here we got it. Here we got it working. So it will give you the different. It will translate it for you, so you can get a rough idea. Inside, when you go to order, they probably have a menu with pictures there. You can just sort of point to what you want, and that will be fine. You know, these places they're not going to speak English. They're not going to have English menus. They're not going to speak English. It's all in Japanese. So, you know, don't try to confuse the people trying to speak English to them. They won't understand. They'll just get flustered. Just point at the menu what you want. Hold up how many fingers you want. When you get it and they tell you how much, give them the money and just tell them arigato. And everyone will be happy, you know, like. But these places here, you're fine. You can sit here as long as you want. These food courts. You can sit here for a couple of hours if you want. No one's going to complain, you know. So if you come to a shopping centre and you want something to eat, yeah, try these food courts. They're fine. The meals are cheap. You know, like ramen there. You can get a ramen there for 500 yen, 490 yen. Another one for 900 yen, you know, 800 yen. You can get some chips there for 350 yen. So, you know, ice creams, you get ice creams. Over here you got ramens and that too. So that's sort of, in food courts, you've got no problem how long you sit here, it's fine. No one's going to complain. Yeah, see, we get a lot of different types of restaurants. So here's ramen here. Starts at 490 yen, so, you know, $5 sort of thing and goes up. But the maximum you're going to pay is like 1,000 yen, $10 for a ramen sort of thing. So it is very cheap. So, you know, they want turnover, these places. They don't just want you sitting there just taking up a lot of time. See, we've got the menu there. That's all really cheap. But it's all in Japanese. It's not in English. Just use your phone, get the translation. Then you can just sort of point at it and tell them, or, you know, you got A set or B set, A or B, C, D. Just tell them, you know, it makes it easy. And, you know, how many, just hold up your fingers. One finger or two fingers, you know, if there's a couple of you, what you want. Makes it easy. When they take your order, just tell them arigato. And they'll be happy, you know, like, just try to don't stress people out. So there's a lot of restaurants. There's another one up here. I was just going to take you up and have a look. It's a yakiniku. So a yakiniku restaurant is like a barbecue sort of place. You get your meat. It's all done in slices. You've got a bit of a barbecue grill on the table. You get vegetables and things like that, and then you just you grill it up and eat it. Well, these places you can stay there as long as you want. You just sort of, you know, you just buy your stuff and you cook it up and eat it and have a few beers and just relax, you know. Like, these sort of places you can stay as long as you want. So we've got a restaurant across the road there too. I think it's soba. They make their own soba there. But, this guy's putting graphics on his car. So it's just a matter of just having a bit of common sense, and you know, if you go to a fancy restaurant, Yeah, mate, you're paying for it, you know, stay there as long as you want. I'm mainly just talking about these cheap places where they don't make a lot of money on a meal. Like $5. You're not going to make much on $5, you know. Be lucky if you make $1 by the time they pay for the ingredients, staff, electricity, rent, all the expenses, you know. See, this is a yakiniku place. They've got their grills here. So, yeah, these places you can just stay here as long as they want. Opens at 11:30 till, you know, late. Across the road over there, we've got Bronco Billy. It's a steakhouse. So, you know, yeah, you can, those sort of places. You're paying more for your meal. You know, you're paying, you know, $50 for a steak or whatever, 40, $50 for a steak, $30 for a steak sort of thing. So it's a lot different. But these little places, we'll see if they've got a bit of a menu outside this yakiniku place. I don't know if they do. No, not really. No, I don't want to go inside. But yeah, there's stuff up there, you know, like different things you get for how much, but it's all in Japanese, so just use your phone, hit up Google Translator, put it on the photo part, and it will give you a rough translation. Oh, here's a bit of, they've got a bit of a menu here. Oh, here's like a set sort of thing. So this cost you, you know, 1,800, so about $18, which is pretty cheap. You got all your different things. So yeah, but that's about it. So it's just a matter of having a little bit of common sense. Don't leave your manners at home, bring them with you. Tell people thank you, they appreciate it, you know. Anyway, that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this little bit of a look on what it's, you know, like eating at Japanese restaurants. Probably, you know, like if you go to Tokyo or stuff like that, probably a lot of those places, they will have menus in English and some of the staff will speak Japanese. But outside the metropolitan areas, yeah, you don't get a lot of it. Anyway, that's all for now.